Namaste, angels. This is my new moon in Virgo reading. The new moon in Virgo rose this morning at amid a dark sky at a beautiful 6 degrees at 3:37 a.m. in Los Angeles, 6:37 a.m. in New York City, 11:37 in London, 12:37 in Paris and Johannesburg, 13:37 in Moscow, 15:37 in Delhi, 1837 in Hong Kong, 1937 in Tokyo, and lastly 2037 in Sydney. So even if you were up, you likely didn't get a chance to see it because, like I said, it was amid a dark sky. But a beautiful new moon has risen, and it's a super moon, and it's a powerful moon, and it is going to force us to get shit done. Stuff that we started before but did not finish, that we're going back to, we will complete. Also, things that we decide to start now, we will complete. We will follow through as if we ourselves are a Virgo, a Knight of Pentacles. Someone, or the only knight actually considered in the tarot, that always reaches his goal. We will reach our goals, we will be methodical, we will lay plans down and see them through. That is the gift that this new moon is giving us. I talked about how in relation to love and stuff, that might not be so exciting, but there are other factors playing into this period, so I'll go over a couple of those. So my readings for I usually go from major moon transit to major moon transit. So this reading will go from today, August 30th, which is the day that the moon rose, through September 13th, which is the day before the full moon in Pisces. Plenty of stuff actually occurs on September 14th. Just with regard to the celestial calendar, at 12:33 a.m. again we have that full moon, 21 degrees Pisces, and then at 3:14 a.m. we have Mercury entering Libra, and at 9:43 a.m. we have Venus, who rules Libra, also entering. So that should be exciting. And that's it. Prior to that, or during this period, as far as the celestial calendar is concerned, the only transit that I would bother to mention, your local astrologer may, I'm sure, not just may, but will have other stuff to talk to you about over the next 2 weeks. I would only mention that at 7:27 p.m. Jupiter will be quincux the true node on September 10th. And that's it. So moving on, what else is going on during this period? On the Christian calendar, there's a few celebrations of Mary that I can think of off the top of my head, so I'll go ahead and mention those. There's nothing this first week, September 1st through the 7th, but then September 8th is considered the birthday of the Blessed Virgin Mary. It's the day that's celebrated, at least. I know that that's not the appropriate birthday, and I've demonstrated to my followers, those of you who have been watching me for a while, especially in my beginnings, I've already demonstrated what her birthday is, and how we could prove it, at least to the extent that there's a lot of circumstantial evidence supporting it. A lot, right? So we prove it as best to the best of our ability. But it is celebrated on this day, September 8th, so we will recognize the birth of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And even the church will tell you that they sort of picked that day out of the air, after having picked December 8th out of the air. Then they decided to just count 9 months and say, okay, well, this is when she would have been born. That's really how that happened. What else? On the 12th, she has another holiday, September 12th. The Holy Name of the Blessed Virgin Mary is celebrated on that day. And then lastly, on the 14th, so I said this reading goes through the 13th, but this is another occurrence on the 14th. In addition to those three that we just talked about on the celestial calendar, we have the triumph of the Holy Cross is celebrated on the 14th. And then Mary has another holiday on the 15th, feast day, and that is Our Lady of Sorrows. So we'll talk about all those later. On the Jewish or Hebrew calendar, between now and the 14th, there is only one thing, and that is the first, Sunday the 1st, is the first day of the month of Elul, which is the last month of the year 5779. The Jewish or Hebrew year is about to come to an end. And at the end of this month, in September, we will be celebrating Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And the beginning, of course, of the year 5780. So we have that to look forward to. 5780 equals 11. Just to throw that out there already, early. So nothing other than the month of Elul, which is about repentance, forgiveness, mercy, compassion, between us and the universe, or us and God, and between us and other people with whom we may come into contact. Our family members, their loved ones, romantic partners, friends. If we've had some sort of difference, this is the time to mend it. Leave that in the past, leave that in last year, and start off fresh and new. And mending it doesn't have to mean we make up and we go off and we continue to be friends forever, because sometimes seasons end with people. Mending it can be at least, ending in a mature and amicable way. Even if that means that we ourselves alone have to accept the apology we're never going to get and let it go at that point and move on with our lives. Some of us are going to be doing that, and I saw a lot of that in the general reading, so I expect to definitely see some more of that happening with you guys, in the 3D here. Lastly, the Islamic calendar. So we will have, thought we had one. Oh yes, goodness. Right here in front of my face, I had taken note of Saturday, August 31st. So tomorrow is the Islamic New Year. It's the first day of the month of Muharram, which is the first month of the Islamic year. So that's exciting. And during this period, the day of Ashura will also be celebrated, Tuesday, September 9th, which means it begins at sundown on 9/9. Those numbers may pop up somewhere in our reading. And what the day of Ashura is also known as the 10th of Muharram, and it is recognition, mourning even. There's some, repentance and forgiveness similar to the month of Elul included then, but this is more directly connected to the murder of Muhammad's grandson. So I'll talk about more of that in the general reading that falls within. Oh, I guess did I talk about it this week? I already did the general reading. I don't remember talking about it. Yikes. All right, maybe I'll mention something in love or something like that. I'll figure it out. I don't want to hold this up any longer. I think that is it. I think that's all the things, the major happenings during this period. So I'm going to start to shuffle these cards a little bit before you. Of course, I've shuffled them on my own already, but I'll do a little bit before you, beginning with the King of Winter for the Animal Tarot, which could be Mercury, could be Venus, both of which currently located in Virgo. Mercury, the ruler of Virgo. So they're there with the moon, also in Virgo. Speaking of the moon, is Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess, which for me is definitely a Gemini. And, really in the tarot, in the traditional tarot, it's depicted with the goddess Isis right on there, And of course the Roman numeral 2, which is the sign, the representation of the sign of Gemini. That's our zodiac symbol. Any case, I say all that to say, Gemini also ruled by Mercury. So Gemini and Virgo. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. And I'm also starting with the High Priestess with my past life deck. So we've already got some pretty heavy energy there, where we're being guided to, before we, look before you leap. And use your intuition, use whatever, smarts, intelligence, wisdom, information that you have available, review it, consider it, and then make a move, not just willy-nilly. King of Winter, The Nine of Winter. Your worries and fears aren't real. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. King of Winter. Did I mention what the King of Winter is all about? He is intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional. At this time, it's very important to communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and to act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert that you can find. The King of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. I'll do one more. And it is the Four of Spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. For us Geminis, my fellow Geminis, this Virgo energy is in our 4th house of foundations. So that is currently, again, where not only the moon, but Venus and Mercury will also be located for us. So a lot of this, again, if we started projects, getting things done in our home, maybe actually moving, and it could be unexpected, it could be suddenly. And I think I said that in the Aquarius full moon reading too. I said people will be like moving unexpectedly, even traveling unexpectedly, which sounded kind of crazy at the time, but sure enough, I got messages from, either on the comments on the post, on the video itself, or, other messages and things from you guys that, and I myself went on vacation sort of unexpectedly too, but that was happening for you, and you had gotten calls from like apartments and things you had applied for years ago. One of my very best friends is one of those people who experienced that. She suddenly got called after putting in this application like literally years ago. And one of my clients, to whom I'm very close to as well, that I met on Facebook, she also contacted me via email that she had heard from some apartments that she applied to literally years ago during this period. And then somebody commented on the video also that her masculine had up and moved, I think on the 24th of July. I don't remember the date. The comment is there. Just sort of out of the blue. She said it was super unexpected, but I called it. It was, how she phrased it, I believe. So definitely a lot more of that. I think particularly for Geminis, Virgos, although for Virgo, for you guys, all this activity that I just mentioned is in your 1st house of self, which means it's a great time for you to start any project and actually complete it, which is your nature anyway. But I think, anybody ruled by Mercury or Venus, or the moon. So Cancer, Libra, Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, of course. And Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So that's it. Those are the signs that according to me. King of Winter, and lastly, the Queen of Autumn, who is thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. King of Winter. I still got to cut into 6. Ugh. And it's the 5 of Autumn. Focusing upon the negative or worrying about money, really relationships, any kind of lack, or like perceived lack. You can just feel fear of losing something. All of that kind of stuff blocks your progress, right? Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to start your own business or to become self-employed or even a relationship or something like that until you can let go of those feelings. And I started to mention faith before when I was holding up the High Priestess because, of course, it is Major Arcana card 2, and 2s are about faith. And now I see where that is coming into play. So some of us feeling lack, feeling fear, not fearing, being very hopeful in what's to come. So we got to change that. Overall energy is the 3 of summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. And I have been feeling and seeing, I definitely saw in the general reading, a lot of reunions, reconciliations of all different kinds, like business partnerships, friends, relatives, lovers. Not only reunions, though, I saw families growing, expanding, the dynamic changing. So again, somebody moving maybe. So your family gets smaller, your family gets larger, you're moving in with somebody, people getting pets and all that kind of stuff. So that would be reason for celebration. I saw the birth of babies too, or finding out that people are, that were pregnant or something, and that's cause for celebration as well. My fortune reading cards, I'm beginning with unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And opening to Phoenix, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So we have these two cards that look a lot alike, and both are talking about a period of renewal, right? This says it's a time of divine understanding and renewal. And this is saying be prepared to be renewed. So in connection to like the 5 of Pentacles that we just saw, and those feelings of loss or fear of loss, be prepared to be taken, to be pulled out of that funk, out of that funky energy, and shown something new, shown something better, shown something, different that is coming your way. And it is cause or reason for celebration, right? Happy times, celebrations. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Celebrations. And one more, it is key. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those who are ready to let go of the past. And with the key there on the card, it is again reminding me of the people who will be moving, getting their own home, own apartment. Maybe they've been living with family prior, and that's all changing. The family dynamic is changing. And coming to flowers, which is also for me about celebrations, offerings of love. It's a representative of, commitment, compromise, forgiveness. And we extend flowers, we give flowers for all of these different reasons. But it's usually, about something positive. Flowers, be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. Overall energy is Chariot. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Chariot is about movement forward. In the tarot, the Chariot, major arcana card, the Chariot 7 is a card of tremendous victory and success, recognition, honor. It is also about movement, and can be representative of I was feeling people moving home, moving house. Can be about travel too. Represents the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So maybe that's why it's showing up. And now, again, like I said, there's another High Priestess with which I'm starting. These are my past life cards, past life oracle, and opening to karmic relationships. So I just want to talk about karmic relationship while I shuffle these. In this community, karmic has come to be known as a derogatory term, but your spouse with whom you are very happy can be a karmic relationship. Does not mean toxic in actuality. It's come to be used like that, and you see we have another set of cards that I've opened to, completely arbitrarily, that look a lot alike. This is about soulmates. This is about divine unions, twin flames, and perhaps karmic relationships. Yeah, something that does need to come to an end, but not necessarily, right? This can be your lifelong soulmate too, leading to marriage even. You could be meeting them during this period, or the commitment could be deepening. Could be moving in together. Karmic relationship. And vows. Could be getting married or, engaged. And planning to take vows together. And I feel that this, in that case, would be connected to the past, like having weathered the storms and the battles and things, made it to this point. And, being ready to remain committed, like despite difficulties that can pop up. And look, what's that? Look, yeah, love life. Isn't that funny too? How that just popped up there and wanted me to notice it, so. Wars and battles. It also could be saying that you, in the past, like I said, you had been fighting with a loved one, perhaps a spouse, perhaps a romantic partner, or a friend, and this is the time, again, of forgiveness, compassion, collaboration, to come together to figure out how to fix that. And for some, pregnancy and or giving birth. And where that is the case, I saw specifically son, right? So a male child in the general reading. For others, this can be starting off something else new, right? It doesn't have to be an actual human baby. Your project is your baby. Your, business that you're starting, that's your baby. Your relationship could be your baby. You got to tend to it, you got to nurture it. So baby doesn't have to be literal, but it definitely will be and can be for some of us. And the overall energy here is spouse. And lastly, family changes, which goes along with all of that, right? It talks about family dynamics changing. Maybe something with your parents moving into their own space, or you're moving out of your parents' home. Maybe they're moving into like assisted living or something. Maybe you had thought to move or to change the dynamic. You're deciding not to. Family changes, healing from the past. So that's leading to family changes, maybe people making up. When I was away, actually, my mother, who hadn't spoken to her brother in years, actually ended up in a picture with him. So that's the kind of unexpected family change potentially, or a changing of your mind, like she hadn't planned to do that, to speak to him when we got there, but then that's how it turned out. People could be unexpectedly making up that you just wouldn't expect them. You wouldn't expect these people to be able to make up, and then unexpectedly they are able to during this period. Also windfall. So this could be a windfall of any kind of abundance. It could be in relation to family changes. Maybe your family's finances changing. Maybe, again, an abundance of love. All of a sudden, things are better and people are getting along. Could be different people within a family, within a group, having individual successes, right, tied to the Chariot. So someone's moving, someone's going back to school, someone just came into some money. All those kind of things are possible too. Not just possible, likely. Likely. And adult children. So it could be in relation to that. Again, somebody moving away from their parents, moving in with their parents, adult children becoming successful, getting their own home, having babies, you becoming a grandparent. Maybe you're the adult child, you're making changes to your life. And possibly involving healthcare. Maybe as simple as the fact that you are now giving yourself some care. You are now nurturing yourself. Or again, like you're nurturing a new project, a new business, an actual literal baby. All of that can be with, connected to the healthcare change too. overall energy here is windfall. And this is going to be, I'm going to use these for the first spread, beginning with divine being or couple. So it can be connected to singles or people who are partnered, but you could be looking for yourself only, maybe not something in relation to your relationship. So beings or couples. Recent past. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Masculine's higher self. Near future. What the feminine can do to help herself. I'm going all sorts of out of order here, and I want to get better in frame also. This is not the order I usually lay them. The masculine can do to help himself. What the universe would have us each or both or all do in relation to helping ourselves, and even wants to help us with. The universe wants to be a part of that change, this move here. But we have to first commit to it because we have free will. And it's not going to just intervene without our permission, without us asking, yes, I do want your help. So that's that. And this is the outcome. Divine being a couple. Memories. So these could be things from the past, reflecting on the past, and especially in connection to a new year, leaving things behind. This could be where our heads are at. Recent past. Sentimental feelings, which makes total sense with memories. So being nostalgic, looking back on situations or relationships, different events and circumstances in our lives, and I guess preparing to move forward. So speaking of moving forward, near future. Hobbies. This could be nursing something, again, a project, new business or something you're giving your attention to, you're giving your energy to. Something that you enjoy doing. Masculine's higher self. Emotions. Which also makes a lot of sense with memories and sentimental feelings. Again, it is about introspection and reflection, which is totally what the Hermit, which represents the sign of Virgo, the Hermit in the Tarot, is all about, right? Introspection, going within, dealing with one's own feelings. So it makes sense that these would be the cards that are turning up for the Virgo new moon. Not surprising at all. Blocks to individual or shared progress, including union. Changing your mind. So we need focus, and that the introspection and looking back on the memories and the sentimental feelings and dealing with our emotions can certainly help with that. But in addition to that, how the feminine can help herself, what the feminine can do to help herself is self-care. We're not getting any shockers here. This all just totally makes sense and fits in with what I've been talking about. What the masculine can do to help himself. End of an era. Something which you need to let go, masculine. Leave the memories where they are. Take them with you. Right? The positive memories, the lessons. Deal with it that way. But release maybe the pain of a situation, or any restraints or constraints that have put on you, something that was holding you back. Let all of that go and allow yourself to transition into the next era, the next phase. What the universe wants us all to do, wants to help us with even, but we have to first affirm and commit. New career. So it could literally be new career, obviously. A new business, maybe connected to a hobby, something that we enjoy doing, something we're good at or naturally good at. It's an innate trait of ours. It just comes out. I've been singing since I was a little girl. I just never tried to do it as a career, but maybe I will. I've been, painting, drawing. Actually, none of this stuff I personally can do. I'm just using these as examples. My kids got all the artistic genes in our family. I got Zippo. But yeah, something that you enjoy doing. My son, for example, likes computers and can build a computer from scratch. Even these huge gaming computers. custom built by hand. My son can do it. He could turn that into a business. He has not yet officially, but he could. It's that type of thing. So you have something like that in your life, new career. But this can also be connected to relationships, right? You get a new boss, right? Just me and my boss. Or your own business. I'm feeling a lot of your own business. So not really a career where you work for somebody else. This is you putting energy and effort into you. However, it relates in your life. And the outcome. Support. So once you make the first move, you will find help out there. Universe wants to help you with new career. So it's already offering its support. But this can be, I'm hearing like loans and credit. Someone to lean on, right? To help you to deal with your emotions or your feelings. To listen if you want to talk. To encourage you to go ahead and focus on that hobby. Or to put some time into yourself. Like, I got this. I'll take these worries and things off your mind. You go get a massage. You go deal with your business or whatever's going to help to further you. So that's the kind of support that I'm feeling coming in. For this one, I think I'll use both. So this is a more general and potentially love energy. Same type of spread, but yeah, general and potentially love energy. Divine being or couple. I should have put these at the bottom. Well, I started already. Divine being, a couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to individual or shared progress, including union. What the feminine can do to help herself, what the masculine can, what the universe would have us all, each, both do, but we have to first affirm and commit of our own volition through using our free will choice and the outcome. And then the same with these. Overall energies again are the Chariot, which is victory, success, movement, and the Three of Summer, which is celebratory. So maybe celebrating our victory, success, and movement in our lives. Three of Summer. Three of Summer also about reunion, reconciliation for me. Not necessarily romantic couples, people in general, friends, family members, getting back together, catching up, being social, going out to hang out, maybe when you normally wouldn't, you're going out, maybe to celebrate a cause, you can meet somebody while out. Divine being or couple. Speaking of debating whether or not to go out and to celebrate, the Seven of Summer. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. Seven of Summer can be about goals, dreams, head is in the cloud. I'm thinking about all these things I want to do. I got so many choices. In the meantime, I'm not doing anything at all. I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking and I'm going over it and I'm going over it again. And yeah. Seven of Summer or Cups, also in relation to going out and being social, for me, can sometimes be tied to one-night stands. Don't ask. You just, I just saw that before a couple years ago, and it has stuck with me, and I've continued to mention it from time to time. It's partnered here with celebrations. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. So you just have to make a decision. And again, if you need to do more research before you start whatever this new project thing is, then do so. But don't continue to waste time. You need to get to a decision, and it will be successful. We have that as an indicator of it. And again, we have an overall energy of the Chariot and the Three of Cups to indicate that it will be successful if we actually do something. Recent past. The Eight of Spring and the Moon. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Messages coming in. A lot of intuitive messages, syncs, signs, directing you toward what it is you need to do. Again, the moon represents the sign of Pisces, just like the Seven of Summer does for me. The next moon will be the full moon in Pisces. That could be related here. Also, Neptune currently located in Pisces, retrograde. Neptune, which rules Pisces. So those could be factors. Again, Earth's actual moon rules the sign of Cancer. It's going to be tied to water signs, perhaps. Water and fire. I would say, looking at this card. And looking at these cards. Also, water and fire. That fire not necessarily being an actual person, or the water either. Neither necessarily actually being an actual person, but could be representative of fire energy, like Jupiter working behind the scenes on your behalf, sending you messages, giving you signs. The moon. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for all the blessings that heaven sends you. And that may be why you haven't made a decision yet, because you've got so many options, and so you're not really sure what to do. But you do need to get focused. And so the introspection that we saw in the last spread can come in handy again. Go within, get it figured out. The Eight of Spring, not only about, again, working behind the scenes, but about communication. So you may have received an actual communication, not just from the universe guiding you, towards something, but you may have reconnected with somebody or connected with somebody too. Even receiving potentially something in the mail. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. You could receive, gotten a letter in the mail that, some business opportunity, or you're inheriting something, or again, an opportunity for an apartment, that job, that you applied for years ago, it's popping up now. Because the moon is also about the unknown. So it's like you don't know that all this stuff is going on behind the scenes, but it has been happening. So now you got all these opportunities that you're faced with. Masculine's higher self. Speaking of opportunities and water and fire, the Phoenix, be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So maybe nothing was moving before in your life, but now things are. In answer to your prayers, perhaps. Major Arcana card 17, the star represents the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. And can definitely be about communication. It's also an 8, just like this one. Communication coming in. And stuff going on behind the scenes in answer to your prayers, your wishes, your dreams, your goals. All these things, dreams unfolding and coming true. And you see it crossing here, this Seven of Summer, this Seven of Cups, which is all about dreams. So something's been ignited and it's actually happening. And it's like, get ready, because your dreams are coming true now. Or things are coming together now. All these opportunities are popping up. Near future. The Four of Winter. So a period of decision. And we have it crossing the Seven of Summer, which is also about decision. But also recovery, restoration, being rejuvenated, a fresh start, something connected potentially to your foundations, with it being a 4. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze or to just dream about it and not actually do anything isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer, represented by the star, will bring you the answers that you seek. Answers coming in right here. And then following that guidance that you do get, the moon, showing you what to do. Even though you can't see everything that's happening, you don't know all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, the Fool shows up to say, you know, once you feel like a definitive push forward towards something, then just go for it. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and to be adventurous. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Ooh, pain, hurt, mountains, difficulty. We've had to climb, we've had to struggle, and you know, you just feel like you climb up and you fall back down, you don't get anywhere. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. So this is saying we can, you know, get past this. Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face these challenges, like you're not going through them alone. But also remain cautious, like keep your eyes open, even though, you know, your guides are there with you, your ancestors are there with you, the angels, God, the universe. You still gotta, again, think things through, pay attention to your intuition, listen to the messages you're getting, you know, don't just be all willy-nilly. Which is similar to what I was saying here with the Fool. Yes, jump out, take a risk, but after an assessment, right? And after you feel definitively pushed is what I said. Then you go. All right. How the feminine can help herself, just like despite these blocks. Ooh, look at this. The Queen of Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. It is that self-care again. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. The Queen of Autumn is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be an actual person that helps to facilitate some wonderful things that are going on in your life. Could be you, could be your own energy. This could be connected to like the credit and loans and stuff that I was feeling before too, an opportunity. But again, it's a positive situation if you just go ahead and follow. So when you feel definitively pushed, you take the risk, you jump at the opportunity. Don't just continue to dream about it, and then it will be successful if you move forward. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Growth, expansion is courtesy of Jupiter, which I mentioned here with the 8 of Spring. Right? Jupiter is the planet, or the god, and the god of growth and expansion, of luck and karma, which is represented by the number 8 also. The masculine can do to help himself. Oh, I love. This is you. This is your energy, right? This is you stepping into your role as the masculine and like making things happen. Very earth sign, you know, very King of Pentacles coupled with this King of Spring or Wands or Ace of Pentacles. Goals. Progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. Didn't I say that before I laid any cards down here on this table? Just when I was just bumping my gums, didn't I say all goals will be achieved that you start during this period? Okay, this is the confirmation. Why? Because you are in your like full element. The King of Spring is inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful. This is also what I keep saying. As long as you stay focused, I just used that word. I say you got to get focused. And this applies to us all, right? You stay focused on the big picture. It will work out. What the universe would have us both or all to do and even wants to help us with. But this is what the 6 of Autumn is all about. It's about assistance. The universe wants to provide us with assistance. Unconditionally. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts and to acquire wise loans, or to receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. And this card actually showed up in the general reading that I did, and I was feeling very strongly that when we do come into this abundance and these blessings that are here, those of us who actually make a decision and focus and pursue them and manifest them, it is very important that you do this part too, that you give back to others through donations of time, money, or reputable time or money or energy, whatever, to reputable charities. And a reputable charity doesn't have to mean an organization, that you find however you find it. It can be the homeless man that sits in front of your building, or whatever it is. And also thorns. Weathering challenges ahead will bring new and positive future. So the universe wants to help you to weather the challenges ahead. And then in return, you are being asked to help someone else to weather a challenge in whatever way you are enabled to do so. Maybe to get through some sort of loss, to be a shoulder to lean on or something. You're guided to do that. And the outcome. Wow. The King of Autumn. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible. And money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. Like the Queen, the King is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He's coupled with this other very green card. There's a green snake on this card. I dreamed about a green snake not that long ago, actually. And it's positive, right? So it's just as positive as this King of Autumn. Somebody could come through to provide you with assistance, with help, if this doesn't represent your own energy. As the King of Autumn, somebody else could be the King of Autumn toward you, very generous and helpful to you. And again, you're guided to then do the same in however you're able to, and with another. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. So just like we saw here, you're getting messages on how to move forward. When you feel it's definitive, don't hold back any further. Take the leap. You're being supported, you're being helped, you're being guided, but also, keep your eyes open and use your own head too. Very high priestess, right? You're going to review everything and make sure that it's the right move. Further to that, we have some advice. For some, this is definitely about partnership. Yesterday in the general reading, I had the King and Queen of Cups show up together, and now we have the King and Queen of Pentacles both on the table, and we have an overall energy here again of spouse. So definitely about partnership for some of us. From the butterfly deck to the masculine, healing from the past. So this is going to help you to, again, remember, end an era and move forward to a new era by letting go, healing from the past and letting go of that, which has been holding you back. For the feminine, from the butterfly, sobriety. Sobriety can be literal, absolutely, for some of us, breaking some sort of negative habit, toxic situation, codependent situation or relationship, getting out of it. But sobriety can also just be about thinking clearly, right? Having focus, having thought things through, and just knowing exactly what to do next now. So that's where we are, or if we're not there yet, that's where we're guided to go. That's what we're guided to do over this period of 2 weeks. Also, for the masculine, Celtic. When these cards come up, connected to different cultures, ethnicities, and countries, it tends to be that we have some sort of history in that era, in that time, or as part of that heritage, that ethnicity, that country. We have a connection. If not in this lifetime, in another. And it can be tied to from what it is that you now need to heal. This card is very earthy too, very outside. But, I'd say it has to do with spirituality. And it feels very hermit as well. So I think like introspection. I see three people. Here. Could have something to do with some sort of party of three. A three of earth kind of card for me is about abundance that is earned. So you're deserving of it. Some of you may be getting an opportunity to connect with a Celtic lineage, or even maybe surprisingly discovering that you have, a Celtic lineage. Maybe you had no idea over these next few periods. In connection to something from the past. It's going to be a positive thing. I'm not getting a clear picture, but it's going to be a positive thing, even if something has to come out. Some secret has to come out or something. Like with the moon can be about secrets, something you didn't know. And then, but once you do know, it's going to, like, things are going to fall into place. It's going to help something to make sense to you from the past, and then able to move beyond it. Feminine for us, karmic relationships. Again, this can be you dealing with, like I just said, a codependent, toxic relationship, as in a karmic relationship, or this can be you moving toward, a more positive relationship, something for which you are destined. That's going to, include very important and defining lessons, life-changing lessons for you during this period. The masculine, major arcana card 15, ego, or the devil, which is also representative of earth energy. And like I said, it could be something to which you're tied, something from the past, something that's holding you back, some sort of restraint, a chain holding you, because something has to come out. If it's not involved with, connected to Celtic, it can just be about spirituality and or religion. Or ideology, some sort of family belief system, and something comes out, to like correct what you believed before. And it's freeing. Like the truth will set you free. That's the kind of thing I'm picking up or feeling. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and to break free of negative thinking. Again, major arcana card 15, ego, in this deck is actually the devil from the traditional tarot, and it does represent the sign of Capricorn. I just got also that somebody could be like Catholic and feeling stuck in a marriage, like an Irish Catholic. Divorce is against the religion, so you're feeling kind of stuck there. And maybe it's a time for you to let go of that old belief system of religion, period, or at least that one ideology, that one piece of that belief that is keeping you restricted in a relationship that is codependent and toxic and unhappy for you. Feminine, the 10 of summer, I like. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. Well, the feminine got the 10 of summer in the general reading for the week as well. So this is about, just feeling so joyous or, content, secure, at peace, loved, and loving in a moment that you're not thinking about the other, stresses of life. You're not thinking about money or work or any of that kind of bullshit at that time. You're enjoying life. Lastly, for the masculine, we have another star. Right, we've got a star here crowning, which is representative of his higher self, and now he gets another star here as part of his advice. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. But for some of us, it's going to require, again, first us freeing ourselves from, that which has been blocking us from it. And then that's what this is. The star represents the sign of Aquarius, or perhaps another air sign. And lastly, for the feminine, world. Be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. Some opportunity could be coming back around. A relationship is coming back around. That apartment I applied for is coming back around. That house I bid for is available again. That job I applied for is coming back around. Or I took the test for it years ago. I never heard anything. I wanted to work at the post office. I don't know. They finally mailed me the letter. That's for somebody. For others of us, this is, again, the world for me in the traditional tarot tends to be about the universe stepping in and working behind the scenes to ease you out of a past situation, a situation that's been going on way too long, a living condition, or a situation. So again, maybe you're moving, you got to move out of family, you got to move in with family, whatever it is. A relationship, time to move out of that relationship, time to move into a relationship. It's helping you out of a situation of which we should have let go before. We didn't. So that's part of the karmic lesson that we had to experience. And now, because we have, we've been successful in that, the universe taking us and easing us into that new, better, and more appropriate situation for us. So that's our new moon in Virgo reading. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you again for joining me, for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate it. If you like your own private reading from me or healing, energy healing, you can check me out on my website, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com, or any of my social media. I am at Queen of Swords 99. Namaste.